What is up guys, I hope everyone is doing well and you are having an awesome weekend so far. So in today's video we are obviously going to discuss the S10 Plus. I won't be jumping into things like specs etc as they have been covered to death. I will just be giving you my experience so far and whether I think you should go ahead and pick one of these up. So obviously we are nearly at 100,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate if you haven't subscribed to smash that subscribe button and turn your notifications on, as I really want to smash this goal soon. So with that said, let's get into it. So the design seems like a good place to start. While it hasn't really changed that much from last year's, you can't deny that it looks amazing with that blend of metal and curved glass. Obviously with the glass back, it's not only a fingerprint magnet, especially in this midnight black colorway, but also super slippery, so I definitely suggest investing in a case or skin if that is your thing, or of course you could just go ahead and rock those fingerprints. On the bottom we do of course have a headphone jack, but I will be honest and say that I haven't utilised it at all since moving over to wireless audio solutions. To be honest, I feel that it's probably time we just say goodbye to the headphone jack. I know that's controversial, but let me know down below if you are still using it. While I did get the boring black variant, Samsung did launch some awesome new colour options this year to spice things up, and we do still have that IP68 dust and water resistance, just in case you like to go for a swim or have a bath with your phone. One of the best features for me however is those stereo speakers. For me it makes the S10 Plus one of the best handsets to game and consume content on, and when I move to handsets with a single speaker, the disappointment is real. Every phone should have stereo speakers at this point, in my opinion. So moving on to the buttons, while they feel nice and clicky and certainly not cheap, I really don't like the placement. I feel they are just way too high, and even with my big hands I have to overreach way too often. And as for misclicks on that Bixby button, it doesn't happen to me, as soon as I opened this device up, I disabled it. If you own an S10 Plus, let me know what you think about the button placement down below in the comment section, as I would like to know if anyone else is having this issue. Overall, I absolutely love the design. Yes, dual curved glass is something we are seeing over and over again, but in my opinion it looks great, and to be honest, where do we go next? If you have owned a flagship from Samsung before, you will know that they always produce amazing displays, and the same applies here. I would probably go as far as saying this panel is one of the best displays around. It's super sharp, vibrant, and gets super bright when needed. In fact, I would go as far as saying it's the brightest display that I have ever seen, and if you're planning on taking it down the beach, you will certainly have no trouble using this in direct sunlight. Although the display is capable of Quad HD Plus resolution, I leave it set to Full HD, which in case you didn't know is the default setting, but I feel it looks great anyway, and it probably saves some battery. Another little tweak that I like to make is changing the screen's default colours from natural to vivid, as I love my colours to pop, and changing this setting makes the experience a little bit nicer. As for the punch out, this is something I wasn't sure I would like, but if I'm totally honest, you do kind of forget it's there even when consuming content. Is it my favourite iteration of the front facing cameras? I would have to say no. I definitely prefer the dewdrop style, but it's definitely better than a big ass notch. As mentioned above, I really like curved displays for consuming content and gaming on, and I really have no complaints about it at all. Samsung has also done a great job with the palm rejection as well, so I don't often find that to be an issue. So underneath that screen we do of course have our ultrasonic fingerprint scanner. To start with, when I first got this device, I honestly couldn't use it. It was super slow, hardly worked, and really it was just annoying. But to Samsung's credit, they have rolled out plenty of updates, and now it's pretty fast and works almost every single time. In all honesty though, I do just use Face Unlock, as it's super convenient and super fast. You just pick your phone up, look at it, and bam, you are in. It just saves a lot of trouble. Now it's time to go ahead and talk about Samsung's new skin, which is of course One UI. This skin is actually pretty sweet after a few tweaks, and it does look super clean. It's very easy to use and has some pretty nice features built in, like the dedicated night mode, that in my opinion it should be default. I would also advise anyone who owns this to go into settings and toggle the reduce animations on. You will definitely thank me later. Samsung have definitely put a lot of thought into this, and with features like the quick notification panel and the redesign of some stock apps, It makes using the S10 Plus with one hand very easy. One of my favourite features is the new gestures for the navigation bar. It's super easy to use and in my opinion looks super clean. If you like to spice things up however, we do of course still have the theme store etc for icon packs and all that stuff. And overall I would say Samsung is definitely heading in the right direction with One UI. But I will be 100% honest with you guys, I am still using Nova Launcher Prime as I know it inside out and it allows me to set up my handset the way I want. If you want to see a setup tour of what I'm rocking on my S10 Plus, let me know down below in the comment section and I will definitely put that together for you. Okay, so let's move on to the cameras. Let's start with the rear. I'm sure at this point you have seen a ton of comparison videos and know that the setup on the S10 Plus is great, and with 3 options to utilise it makes it super versatile. I have taken this phone with me on my travels and I must say the cameras are super impressive. Without a doubt the best feature is that ultra wide lens. I'm sure you have heard every tech YouTuber praising it and that's for good reason. It's super wide and unlike other smartphones with this feature, the quality does not take a massive hit. I mean there is a slight dip which is expected with no OIS etc, but I honestly found myself utilising it more than the primary as the results are just wonderful. Night shots aren't too terrible either but certainly far from the best, and with the latest update bringing a dedicated mode along with it, I was hoping that things would improve a little bit, but it seems that the new night mode is just giving you a toggle to turn what was previously the night mode on or off. Don't get me wrong, you will not be disappointed with the primary lens at all. You get great shots that are still a little oversaturated, but I definitely like that look, and after asking the opinions of some of my family members, they feel the same. Live focus is also great, but I did notice the colours do seem a little muted compared to a standard photo. You do obviously get the option to adjust the bokeh after the picture has been taken as well, and even add some effects, but honestly, I would just avoid these. Now for the telephoto lens, it offers a 2x zoom, which honestly I don't really utilise as I just feel that 2x just isn't enough, especially when other competitors are offering 5 and even 10x zoom. If they maybe hit the 5x zoom I would be a lot happier, but the pictures do look great and obviously it does allow you to get a little closer to your subject, so it's nice to still have that option. The video on the rear camera is also great and you can utilise that ultra wide lens as well, which again looks fantastic. Obviously we have 4K recording up to 60 frames per second and it looks pretty decent, but usually when I'm filming I just go ahead and opt to use super steady mode. It's much better and has that action cam like stabilisation. Unfortunately though it does drop the resolution down to 1080p, but in my opinion this still looks great, and if I'm going to be doing any filming at all while using my smartphone, I will be utilising this mode. So moving on to the front facing cameras, if you've watched any of my reviews before, you will know that I'm not a massive fan of taking selfies. It's not something that I normally do, but if that is your thing then you will not be disappointed with these cameras. So over and above the standard lens on the front, Samsung also offer that wider angle for group selfies, albeit nowhere near as wide as the competition. Portrait selfies again look fantastic, and I would say that the edge protection is among the best out there. The blur doesn't look over processed, the colour reproduction is well balanced, and the pictures are not too muted when compared to say my Pixel 3. Another awesome feature of the front facing camera is the ability to shoot 4K video as well, so if you're an aspiring vlogger this may come in handy. So moving on to the low light performance of the front facing cameras, this is an area that you may be a little bit disappointed as images tend to go a little bit grainy and skin tones etc don't look that great, but if you're using this during the day etc I'm pretty sure you will love these cameras. With all of that out of the way, what's it like to actually utilise this on a daily basis? Well, for me, one downside as a super heavy user is the battery life. I'm lucky to see 5 hours of screen on time, so often find myself having to charge this up before my day even ends, and that is pretty annoying, especially when you hear that the Snapdragon variant of this device has better battery life. Samsung do however provide fast charging and fast wireless charging, so it's not really a deal breaker, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't as glued to their handsets as I am. When it comes to performance, this is obviously an area that you will have no issues with. It's super fast, it's smooth, and gaming on it is an absolute pleasure. It does however have some features that I don't utilise, like power share, where you can wirelessly charge someone else's phone or charge your wireless accessories etc. just by placing them on the back. And obviously with bad battery life, I am not about to share my juice with anyone. Another thing worth noting is that we also do have expandable storage, but with an awesome base storage and the fact that I am heavily invested in cloud storage, I don't really find myself utilising it. Overall, the S10 Plus is a fantastic device. It has great cameras, it has a beautiful screen, and the performance is blazing fast, so you will definitely not be disappointed if you're going to go ahead and pick this up. One thing I would say however, if you have small hands, take a look at the S10, it's just missing a few minor features, but it's still a pretty awesome handset. As always guys, if you have any questions, let me know down below and I will definitely get back to you. Also, just remember to hit that subscribe button as we are pushing for that 100k. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, stay safe, be kind to each other, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.